Provincial ministers face some tough questions before the Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association Conference draws to a close. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Municipal leaders faced off against provincial ministers today as the 2024 NOMA AGM wrapped up with the traditional bear pit session.
That's where mayors and councillors from across the region get the chance to grill members of the Ford cabinet. Lee Noonan was there and joins us now in studio. Lee?
Thanks, Riley. The clause didn't really come out during the bear pit this year, but the region's municipal leaders did have some serious demands of the provincial ministers. They wanted commitments on everything from international students to fisheries enforcement. 7 government ministers took the stage to face the region's municipal leaders and wrap up this year's NOMA conference. Mayors and councillors from across the Northwest lined up for a chance to ask their questions, citing millions in economic impact from spending by international students. Janet Hager, Deputy Mayor of Red Lake, wants a pushback against the federal cap on international study permits, something the Minister of Universities and Colleges says she's already doing.
This morning we had a presentation on workforce planning. And one of the points was, how can we retain the international students who are studying here? Well, we also need to have those people on the ground here if they're going to be retained.
We were able to come up with a formula that had the least impact on the greatest amount of schools. So right here in Thunder Bay, we're actually going to see no change in the number of international students.
Fort Frances Councillor Wendy Burnetta is asking the province to step up and support a new airline to replace Bearskin Air, which will be pulling out of Fort Frances, Dryden and Kenora as of May 11th.
Will your government commit to providing financial support for a new carrier to provide reliable, affordable, convenient, scheduled passenger and freight air services to ensure the viability of these airports?
Will we be in the business of the Government of Ontario Airlines? I don't think so. But I can say, I understand how consequential this is because my truck is parked in Winnipeg right now. Even the existing service was inadequate.
Andrew Halikas, Mayor of Fort Frances, wants the province to increase enforcement of fisheries and labor regulations in international border waters.
American fishing guides frequently take parties of American anglers who are accommodated in U.S. resorts directly into Canadian waters. This practice results in these anglers contributing no economic benefits to Canada while heavily utilizing our resources.
Hear the concern loud and clear. I know our conservation officers have been looking into it. I don't think that they've kind of found anything, but I would qualify that with a yet.
Forestry roads and the Terrace Bay Mill, cattle farming, and affordable childcare were among the many other issues brought up by local leaders on the final day of NOMA's 2024 AGM. Lee Noonan, TBT News.